This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the L2C Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. Now, with the headlines and details of the day in sports, here's Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Oh, how you doing, everybody? Welcome, one and all, to the Corsican Ball. I put the today, and them is there. All right. A lot for you today. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Got to go to Ann Arbor very early in the morning, so this is going to be one of the more funnest shows. And just got to tell you, had a nice supper tonight. Didn't do much, so there we go. Okay, we have ladies and germs, boys and girls, cats, kittens, frogs, hogs, and every other piece of uniqueness you can think of. You know, I just realized something. I just realized something. I don't know where the hell my phone is. Yeah, I do. It's still in the car, so I'll get it after the show. But what a night, what a day, what a world of sports we live in. And yes, friends, it is time to give you that sports that you all enjoy and are passionate about. And by the way, so far so good. Everything is kosher. Welcome to the end of Wednesday, the beginning of Thursday. And boy, oh boy, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Blue Jays, they can't, I mean, really, baseball starts tomorrow, but, wow, the Blue Jays don't even have a home yet. Everybody, including my friends over Channel 6, Audrey Dahlgren, and others, Alex Sims, Nick Mantis, they've all suggested Cooley Law School Stadium. That would be nice. Why do I say this? Why am I revising this? Simple. Just when the Blue Jays thought they found a home, they have been told, "Niet." That's right. That's right. On the eve of opening day, the Toronto Blue Jays are still searching for their new home for the 2020 season. As you know, the Canadian government denied the team's request for approval to play games in Toronto's Rogers Centre, which their home, well, actually, Sky Dome is their home, which is, I guess, now called the Rogers Centre, due to concerns over teams crossing the border amid the coronavirus pandemic. The club was reportedly blessed to play a majority of their home games at Pittsburgh's PNC Park, but the plan was steep six by the Pennsylvania state government and Pennsylvania Department of Health, according to the athletics guru of GAFA, Mr. Ken Rosenthal. Pennsylvania Secretary of Health, Dr. Rachel Levine, said in a statement to the Associated Press, quote, "To add travelers to this region for any reason, including for professional sports events, residents, visitors, and members of both teams. Now, the Blue Jays will continue exploring other options, including traveling to the city of each scheduled opponent and playing as the home team, per Buster Olney of ESPN. Now, the club had initially looked into playing their home games at their AAA affiliate ballpark in Buffalo, New York, their spring training ballpark in Dunedin, Florida, and Camden Yards, home of the Orioles in Baltimore, Maryland. There were concerns over ballpark adjustments that would be necessary in Buffalo and Florida's ongoing COVID-19 surge for their spring training site. The Blue Jays are set to begin their 2020 campaign Friday at Tropicana Field to face Tampa Bay Rays. Trial's first home game, and that's in quotes, is scheduled for July 29th in the league's new geographically based schedule for this season. Teams will not venture outside their regions in an effort to contain extra exposure to COVID-19. Each Major League Baseball team will play 40 of their 60 games against opponents from their own division, so the Blue Jays and Pirates will play 10 games against their AL and NL, or AL East and NL Central rivals, respectively. Then the 20 remaining games are going to be those from the opposite leagues' corresponding geographic divisions. AL East will face NL East, NL Central will face AL Central, and so on. Now, while baseball's 2020 60-game schedule is set and teams are nearly complete with their second round of spring training, there are still 5 off-the-field questions facing the league in this 60-game shortened season. In the meantime, let's all just enjoy what we got, because you never know when it's going to be taken away again. On here, folks. Chugging again. So let's keep going. Let's keep rolling down the river of the sports sanity.
We told you earlier this week.
All right.
Directive from the White House to the Census Bureau.
Here we go. More, and I'm going to kill off the noise. Liverpool, well, they did something amazing. They beat Chelsea in an 8-goal thriller Wednesday, 5-3. But the second half was all about young American Christian starting on the bench for the second straight game. He came in as a second-half substitute with his team down 4-1 and nearly helped the Blues pull off an improbable comeback. Pulisic came on in the 59th minute, and 13 minutes later, he had just already grabbed an assist and a goal. 2 minutes after he came on, he destroyed Liverpool's defense to assist Tammy Abraham. Then 12 minutes after that, he scored a lovely goal where he controlled the ball with brilliance, faked out Trent Alexander-Arnold, and rocketed a shot past Alisson. And wow, beautiful. Now, what would have happened if he would have started? Nobody knows, but what we all know now is he is playing at such a high level where he deserves to start most, if not all, games moving forward. At 13-minute span in the second half was arguably his best in Chelsea shirt, and with his goal, he reached double digits on the season. But the Liverpool still had enough chutzpah to give them the Premier Champions trophy. Meanwhile, Chelsea did their best, just couldn't do it. So, technically, Liverpool now. Here we go with match week 37. Right now. Oh, wow. Got a lot here. Where are we here? Okay. Do we have everything? Yes, we do. Okay. In 6, Arsenal over Liverpool 2-1. Burnley and the Wolves tied at 1. Chelsea 1. Norwich City 0. Wait a minute, I'm doing this, aren't I? Yes, I am. I should be waiting. That's right. Okay, let's go to the NWSL. It's live. It's amazing what you can get away with. Congratulations to Los Angeles. Let's tell you all about that in a moment. Right now, let's give you the... All right, let's get to it right now. The only final score we have is the Houston Dash over the Portland Thorns, 1-0. Red Stars and Sky Blue, they are still going on as we speak. You can catch that game on CBS All Access. A reminder, the Houston Dash will take on the winner of the Red Stars Sky Blue match, 12:30 p.m. this Sunday, July 26th. It'll be on CBS and CBS All Access. So there you go. Not bad, eh? I leave that all to you. Okay, in other baseball news, we got some good news. Mookie Bettis signed a $365 million extension with the Dodgers. He now has the second largest contract in Major League Baseball history, behind only Mike Trout. They signed Mookie Bettis, star outfielder, to a 12-year contract extension that will run through the 2032 season. The club announced the deal on Wednesday. The deal will pay Bettis a total of $365 million and for 2020, prorated down to, and the new contract won't begin until the 2021 season. His new contract becomes the second largest in MLB history, behind only Mike Trout's 12-year, $430 million contract with the Angels. Bettis has going forward his teams deal with the financial fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic, but Bettis' deal will erase any belief that top free agents were not going to get paid this winter. The Athletics' Ken Rosenthal adds. Now, the superstar outfielder will make his LA debut Thursday when the Dodgers face the Giants at Le Stade du Dodger, or Dodger Stadium. It's Betts, who is slated to take over the Dodgers' leadoff spot and be the everyday right fielder. He won 4 consecutive Gold Gloves and leads the league with 93 defensive runs saved in right field since 2016. With the Red Sox, he won the AL MVP award in 2018 and put up a WAR of 41.8 across part of 6 seasons. Position player since Carl Yastrzemski. In a deeply unpopular move, the Red Sox traded Betts to the Dodgers in February, and a blockbuster also sent David Price to LA in exchange for a package fronted by outfielder Alec Verdugo. Price recently opted out of the season over health concerns. Well, here we go, go. Let's keep going. This is going to be fun, if not insane. Okay, in college football, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12 are considering a new schedule model. Would you like to know that schedule model? They are considering +1 scheduling model. That's right. Up. Gary Stokan has become a matchmaker. President and CEO of the Peach Bowl has to be in his position. Stokan is in desperation mode with the coronavirus potentially impacting all 3 of his Chick-fil-A kickoff games, and with college football trying to figure out when and how to play its 2020 season. Stokan sprung to action once the Big Ten and Pac-12 decided earlier this month to play conference-only schedules. Those non-conference kickoff games at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium featured 3 high-profile contests a week. Florida State versus West Virginia, September 5th. Georgia versus Virginia, September 7th. And Auburn versus North Carolina, September 12th. Stokan said, playing only conference games certainly doesn't help us. When I saw that, I said I should get to work here, seeing that if it's even possible. We've got 3 games to put on. I don't want to lose them. Well, with all Power 5 conferences seemingly trending toward a shortened regular season amid COVID-19, Stokan said he promoted the idea of a +1 schedule to commissioners of the SEC, ACC, and Big 12. In other words, a standard conference schedule with 1 additional non-conference game. That would add up to 9 regular season games for the SEC and ACC. For the Big 12, it'll be 10. Now, the +1 structure would preserve traditional SEC-ACC rivalry games this season in a limited schedule. Florida, State, Georgia Tech, etc. That would otherwise be lost in a conference-only format. In that scenario, Stoken
And that is very,
already
very
knows.
true. All right, that's it for sports. David is back after the break. We'll see.
Thank you. Stoken only knows he could lose Florida State, West Virginia, Georgia, and Virginia from his kickoff showcase. It's a weird twist on addition by subtraction that will allow Stoken to be that matchmaker, creating a pool of possible new opponents for the September 5th and 7th games. The Auburn, North Carolina game theoretically will not be impacted. Now, Florida State, Georgia Tech are obvious games that would affect kickoff games. West Virginia and Virginia don't have a comparable non-conference Power 5 game and could be matched up in one of those kickoff games, Stoken said. He also said the commissioners of the three conferences told him they will take his proposal under consideration. Interpret that how you want. The commissioners are trying to save their sport. Stoken is trying to save 3 games. So, get ready, get set, and go, man, go. Now, one Big Ten source told CBS Sports that his school has been given a list of 5 league opponents from the opposite division for a possible 10th game. One Pac-12 athletic director told CBS Sports that his league is in a similar position. And while the stated intent of the SEC and Big 12 is to find a way to play their full seasons, COVID-19 realities may make a shortened season inevitable. Stand by for that one. Okay, it's 11:31. And how are we on the time here? It's not bad. We're learning. Okay. Boot. Okay. We're going to take a bit of a break and get back with more headlines in a moment. Want to tell you that right now, how about giving you a little plug, and that we do so nicely. Hopefully we can do it. I doubt it, but we're going to give it a shot. In the old arms. That's right. We somewhere got a plug in here. Yes, it is time for us to plug what Nick Rakita has for us. And so we shall.
Degrees tomorrow, the high temperature. Wow. 85 on Friday, 90s this weekend.
So here we
I'm
go.
going to start yelling my weathercast. How about that?
It's like hot, more hot. Yeah, spicy hot.
It was a safe yes.
Okay, want to remind you that tonight, Nick Rakita, the mild-mannered, let's try again. Nick Rakita, the mild-mannered, humble lawyer from Minnesota, returns again to bring you a full dive on Chauvin taxes. Ron returns to Twitter, and if that's not enough, we know it probably isn't, there's more. So join Nick Rakita for another live edition of Lost Blaming the Interwebs tonight, midnight Eastern Time, only on the most fundamental broadcast in the world, the Rakita Live channel, only on YouTube and nowhere else. All righty. Let's get back to what we do best. Frankly, I don't know what that is, but if you know what it is, please let us know here. Okay, we got more headlines. We got the scoreboard, and we got other little doodads to make you go doodad. There we go. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks. All right, in college football news, Here it is, folks. College football news. And Michigan State is one team that never lets anything get to them. Well, tested positive for the coronavirus, the program announced. The positive test came as the Spartans prepared to ramp up from 8 hours per week of voluntary workouts to 20 hours of permitted activity. Yes. MSU released a statement. In part, this is what it said. As Michigan State football prepared for the beginning of the 20-hour week during which student athletes and staff would be in larger groups than they had been during voluntary workouts or the 8-hour weeks, it conducted surveillance COVID-19 testing on all staff members over the weekend and previously scheduled surveillance COVID-19 testing on student athletes Wednesday afternoon. Late Wednesday afternoon, after testing on student athletes had been completed, one staff member received a positive result. Michigan State football will now pause workouts and will not begin its 20-hour weeks until it receives a complete result from all surveillance testing. Now, Michigan State is the second Big Ten program to announce a pause to workouts because of COVID. Ohio State also did the shutdown fandango for 6 days earlier this month after receiving results from its COVID-19 testing. Now, schools aren't required to disclose if or how many of its athletes and staff members test positive for the virus, but Michigan State has been forthcoming with information in the recent weeks. Spartans announced last week that 7 of 402 COVID-19 tests administered to athletes since the return to voluntary workouts had come back positive, including 3 of 38 who were tested last week. Now, I'm going to ask you folks to, can we do it, or do we have to pause for the cause? Nope. We're going to keep going here. We'll get my phone following. Okay, in the National Football League, well, the Washington team is probably breathing a sigh of relief that there's not another story about them tonight. Instead, the Jets over allegations that he made inappropriate comments to some of his staff while serving as the United States ambassador to the UK, the United Kingdom, a job he's held since 2017, according to that bastion of truth and honesty, CNN. The alleged comments from Johnson were viewed as both racist and sexist. Generalizations about black men and questioned why the black community celebrates Black History Month, end quote, according to CNN. A person in the State Department also told CNN that Johnson would make cringeworthy remarks about women. The report also notes that the staff struggled to get Johnson on board an event that was being held to celebrate International Women's Day. Now, although Johnson didn't address any of the specific allegations when asked for comment by CNN, he did address them on Twitter. He denied it all. Johnson wrote, "I have followed the ethical rules and requirements of my office at all times. These false claims of insensitive remarks about race and gender are totally inconsistent with my long-standing record and values." Now, Johnson has also been accused of trying to convince the British government to put a future Open Championship at Donald Trump's resort in Scotland, which was a request that Johnson allegedly made at the behest of Trump. In a statement to CNN, the government spokesman made it clear that the State Department would be standing by Johnson despite the multiple allegations. Now, on Wednesday afternoon, the Jets released a statement of their own on social media. And here it is, and once again, the line is the same. "We are aware of allegations against Ambassador Johnson, which he specifically denied in the following statement earlier today. I have followed the ethical rules and requirements of my office at all times. These false claims of insensitive remarks about race and gender are totally inconsistent with my long-standing record and values." Now, although Johnson has the support of the State Department and his team, he definitely doesn't have the support of one of his star players. After hearing about the allegations, Jet safety Jamal Adams took to Twitter to call for better leadership. Now, the NFL is also aware of the allegations, but decided to defer to the State Department when asked to comment on the case. Although Johnson is technically the owner of the Jets, he hasn't actively been making team decisions since taking his government position. After Johnson accepted the ambassador role, the job of running the Jets was handed over to his brother, Chris Johnson. Woody Johnson has owned the Jets since, the start of the millennium in the year 2000. Okay, I gotta do. I shall return in a moment. Talk amongst yourselves for a little bit. Talk to the chair if you wish. I will be back momentarily. We'll get you updated on everything else going on in the world of sports, as is our want. But I gotta do a little something. So please excuse me for a moment.
What you gotta do? Lock the car?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure. I didn't hear it.
Repair job on the steps.
Do what?
I have to do a repair job on the steps.
It locked up?
Yep.
Huh?
I've locked up.
Make sure the lights was off.
Make sure the lights were off. Give me a moment, folks. Be right back.
My lights probably down there. Thank you. Hello.
Stretched. All right. Nick Rakita can take a moment or two. So can I. And we continue with the broadcast. And finally, in our headlines, or, not so finally, but nonetheless important. I don't know what I'm talking about. We have a bit of sad news to report. Former University of Connecticut star forward Stanley Robinson has died, the school announced Wednesday morning. He was 32. Robinson is among the better players in UConn history, having played 4 seasons for Jim Calhoun in total 1,231 points, 776 rebounds, and 130 blocks. Robinson was among the best dunkers and athletes in college basketball during his time with the Huskies in 2006 and 2010, and he helped propel Connecticut to the 2009 Final Four. Former UConn coach Jim Calhoun said in a statement, "I am truly heartbroken. Stanley was such a beautiful person, caring and giving. He was a gentle soul, too gentle for this world. He was not only loved by his teammates, but everyone who met liked him. He will always be a Husky." What made Robinson's college career all the more impressive was his humility and drive to improve. He arrived at UConn in 2006 after being a highly regarded recruit. Robinson was Mr. Basketball in 2006 in his home state of Alabama. But he did immediately make a difference under Calhoun. This was a Huskies team 2 years removed from UConn winning a second national title, and Robinson was expected to be a big piece that could make a third championship a reality. Robinson vowed to better himself, taking Calhoun's advice and leaving the team for a semester. He embraced blue-collar labor at a junkyard in Connecticut and watched his teammates from the stands of Gampel Pavilion. The tactic was aggressively challenging even in the mid-aughts. Calhoun told ESPN.com at the time it wouldn't work with most kids. No way. Most kids would have said, quote, "Screw you." Alabama was on the phone every day. Stanley could have left in a heartbeat, but he's unique. Now, upon his return, Robinson did get better. He made UConn better and eventually turned himself into a second-round NBA pick in 2010 following his senior season. Robinson spent the majority of his professional career playing in South America. He most recently was a member of the Chilean outfit Español de Talca. Calhoun said Sticks just couldn't even get the break he needed, but no matter what happened, he always had a smile on his face. Stanley Robinson. Thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and comrades. He was 32 years old. Welcome back. Let's get you updated on a few little dicey-licey expectorants, as we dare say. Let us get going, folk. And now it's time for some headlines from Awful Announcing. Now, one of the Sports Hub in Boston, Fred Touche, the longtime co-host of the morning Touche and Rich show, alongside Rich Schertenlieb, showed up late for work Tuesday. Oh, there it is. And went on rants on a number of subjects, including his divorce, the Black Lives Matter movement, and more. As Chad Finn of the Boston Globe writes, that's now led to Touche being off the show for a yet-to-be-determined period of time. In his article, Touche, who co-hosted a highly rated program, revealed during Tuesday's show that he was going through a divorce. He had been late for his show, and during the 7 a.m. hour, sounded agitated enough that Schertenlieb suggested he should take some time off and offered to go off the air with him at that time. Coming out of the first commercial break in the 6 a.m. hour on Wednesday's show, Schertenlieb explained why Touche wasn't part of the show. And he said this, quote, "Listen, with everything that's going on, Fred's going to take a couple of days off. And we love the guy, can't wait till he gets back. But if you heard any of the show yesterday, we know that this is something that he's going to just take a few days and step back, and we're glad. And once again, we wish him the best, and he'll be back soon." Now Touche, excuse me. Yeah, Touche. Toucher. Touche, actually should be. Also posted about this on Instagram, denying allegations from some listeners who posted about the show on Twitter that he was drunk Tuesday, but saying that he plans to check himself in to a mental institution, or as we like to call it, a little rest. And we're trying to, oh boy, there we go. And if you want to read it, go ahead. It's on awfulannouncing.com. Oops, hello. Let's see. Sports Hub usually posts audio of its shows, including Touche and Rich, and those podcasts are usually posted externally to services like Stitcher as well. While both the station's page and the external pages don't have audio from Tuesday's show, some of it was used on Kirk Minihane's Barstool Sports Show Wednesday, though. We'll play it. Now, here's a transcript of his comments, which seem to come from several different parts of his show. They include Touche complaining about black people, have criticized Jewish people, talking about his divorce, and discussing a caller's claim that he seemed to be on painkillers. We will not share those. That's not who we are. If you want to see them or read them or even hear them, we suggest going to the Awful Announcing website at awfulannouncing.com. Do we have a little problem? I think we do. I think we do. Oh boy. There we go. Hey, we made it. Okay, it's fixed. That would be fun, wouldn't it, to have a little problem? Well, we knew it wouldn't last. So here we go, kids. The streaming service DAZN has reportedly canceled MLB Changeup prior to the start of the 2020 season. Too bad. MLB Changeup, DAZN's MLB whip-around style highlight show will not return this year, according to a report from the Streamable. DAZN declined comment on the website. Last year, Changeup was given a lot of reviews, sort of middle of the road, fall of 2018, which would prove. Let me try that again. Last year, folks at Awful Announcing gave Changeup a middling review, as the show seemed to still be finding its feet and deciding what it wanted to be. DAZN agreed to a 3-year, $300 million deal with Major League Baseball in the fall of 2018, which would provide DAZN with the whip-around show and various other video content. DAZN has been hit particularly hard over the pandemic at the beginning of March and announced plans to expand into over 200 countries, but those plans were postponed due to the pandemic and the shutdown of live sports across the world. Now, the company planned to withhold rights fees and furloughed its live event staff in April due to the postponement of live boxing events, which are scheduled to resume this week. At the end of May, a report indicated that DAZN was looking for outside investments as the pandemic and its corresponding lack of live events surged on. Last fall, they were also seeking to raise money, but for future rights fees. It was very much interested in NFL Sunday Ticket and other NFL content for American subscribers, but the struggles of the business in 2020, along with the NFL season only being 7 weeks away, really made that seem like a pipe dream for this coming season. DAZN was reportedly advised on its MLB deal by former Fox executive Jamie Horowitz, who later became the company's head of content. Former ESPN anchor Adnan Virk was the primary host of the show, and he was joined on the show by Scott Rogowski, known for HQ Trivia. Lauren Gardner, Tony Luftman each have roles at the NHL Network and MLB Network, respectively, and the Cespedes barbecue duo of Jake Mintz and Jordan Schusterman, who also hosts an MLB podcast for The Ringer. So this pandemic is hitting everyone in the groinal pocket, as it were. Okay. But going back to soccer for a moment before we hit the scoreboard. The Liverpool fans are not happy at all. They clinched their first that was today after a very fun 5-3 win over Chelsea. But for American Liverpool fans who have been waiting throughout the pandemic-induced layoff and for nearly a month since Liverpool clinched on top of the prior 30 years, it was a momentous occasion, and many were obviously locked in on NBCSN's coverage today. And while the network did an admirable job of staying on with post-game sights and sounds from Anfield, they made a very poor or very unlucky decision to go to a split-screen commercial break just as Liverpool staff and players were about to sing a league championship edition of You'll Never Walk Alone. That's certainly not what anyone wanted, especially not the thousands of fans who are probably waiting to join in from home. Instead, they got a lengthy commercial break. Why air the inspiring sight of Liverpool preserving, despite an empty stadium, singing to fans across the globe, when you can instead have Peyton Manning and Brad Paisley bantering back and forth about a nationwide jingle? Not good. This obviously didn't go over too well. To NBCSN's credit, they did go back later and replay. Their EPL coverage is typically as good as anyone could hope for, and if forced to guess, they just had a hard break there and couldn't do anything about Liverpool's order of operations for their celebration, but it was certainly unfortunate all around. Still, Liverpool fans, you just won the Premier League title a season after winning the Champions League. You get to cheer for a team managed by Jurgen Klopp, one of the most inspiring people in sports. So, be proud, be true, be you. Now, things could have been a lot worse, but at least they were better. And we all learn. So, and just as a little aside, ESPN shifting highly questionable to 2:30 p.m. in mid-August, with NFL Live moving to the August of 4 p.m. So there you go. Don't forget, the NHL returns. And will we have as I say, will we have some live listen-ins like we used to with our Facebook live shows? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Anyway, let's get you to the scoreboard and get to everything and possibly in the world of sports. As I rudely, I know it's shocking. I'm uncouth. Then again, who among us isn't couth? I just gotta remember, watch out for all that. So my apologies to you folks out there for witnessing a little uncouthness. We must be professional, and we're going to start being professional. I promise you. Okay, let's get to some soccer scores, some round and round we go scores. Yes. By the way, we only hit up the most best soccer and other sports. If you want the full content, go to scoreboard.com/EN. So here we go. In the Premier League, Manchester United and West Ham tied at 1. Liverpool beat Chelsea 5-3. In Italy, Serie A, Parma over Napoli 2-1. Fiorentina and Inter tied at 0. Lecce and beat Brescia 3-1. Genoa 2-1 over Sampdoria. Spal loses to Roma 6-1, and Torino and Verona tied at 1. Okay, and Denmark Superliga championship game. Nordstrand and Aarhus on the middle of the street, tied at 1, as was Brombury and Midtjylland. The club friendly, we'll only give you just some scores. Angers over Cholet 1-0. Ermis over Olnikosa 2-0. Comanero and Stolanowski goose egg. Pax beat Drogi 4-0. Paralimini and Karmatosia tied at 2. Pisk defeated Kesk Bujosv 3-0. Rems over Le Havre 3-0. Arda over Septemberville 1-0. Sered over Pets Zalaka 2-1. Okay, basketball, the preseason NBA. It was the Clippers 99, Magic 90, Denver Nuggets 89, Washington Wizards 82, New Orleans Pelicans over the Brooklyn Nets 99-68, and the Miami Heat over the Sacramento Kings 104-98. In baseball, there's a lot of fun there. In Japan, the NPB, the Chunichi Dragons defeated and blanked the Omuri Giants 5-0, 5-8-0 for the Dragons, 0-4-0 for the Giants. Matsuba for the Dragons gets the win. He's 2-0. Togo gets a loss. For the Giants, he's 3-1. Fukuoka Silverhawks defeated the Nippon Ham Fighters 3-2, 3-4-1 for the Hawks, 2-8-0 for the Fighters. Shiino gets the win for the Hawks. He's 1-0. Martinez gets the loss. He's 1-3. The Hanshin Tigers went extra innings, but still couldn't beat the Carp, and the Carp couldn't beat the Tigers, as the Hanshin Tigers and the Hiroshima Carp left at 3-3. 3-12-1 Tigers, 3-9-0 Carp. Garcia, well, since there were no winners, no losers, we leave it right there. Orc Buffaloes over the Recking Golden Eagles, 11-7, 11-13-0 for the Buffaloes, 7-6-1 for the Eagles. Morihara for the Eagles gets a loss. He's 1-1. Yoshida for the Buffaloes is 1-0. The Chibalati Marins over the Cebu Lions, 2-1, 2-10-0 for the Marins, 1-6-2 for the Lions. Takahashi for the Lions gets his third loss in 5 starts. He's 2-3. Ojima for the Marins gets a win. He splits it 2-2. And the Yokohama Bay Stars won extras, but they still couldn't beat the Yakut Swallows. Neither could the Yakut Swallows beat the Bay Stars. 5-5 was the final score. 5-12-1 for the Bay Stars. 5-9-0 for the Swallows. Hamaguchi for the Bay Stars. Well, the no winners, no losers, so we continue on. Major League Baseball preseason, let's go to it. Marlins over the Braves. 6-2, 6-14-1 for the Marlins, 2-4-0 for the Braves. Cardinals over Royals, 6-3, 6-10-0 for the Cards, 3-7-1 for Royals. Cleveland Indians over the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5-3, 5-9-0 Indians, 3-7-1 Pirates. Cincinnati Reds downed the Detroit Tigers, 2-1, 2-7-1 for the Reds, 1-4-0 for the Tigers. Cubs over the Twins, 4-3, 4-6-0 Cubs, 3-5-0 Twins. Boston Red Sox ended up in a 6-inning barn burner. They were the barn. Blue Jays blew them up 2-0. 2-2-0 for the Blue Jays, 0-2-0 for the Red Sox. Colorado Rockies beat the Texas Rangers 7-3, 7-10-1 Rockies, 3-5-0 Rangers. Milwaukee Brewers over Chicago White Sox 5-3, 5-10-1 Brews, 3-5-1 Sox. And in the 7th inning, it is San Diego over the California Angels, 5-4. And in Nicaragua, CMBS playoffs, the game is in the 9th inning. We're going to call it. Boer wins over the Chinandega Tigres, 9-4. South Korea KBO action. It was the Kia Tigers, 2-1 winners over the Hanwha Eagles, 2-5-0 Tigers, 1-4-0 Eagles. And in the CPBL Minor League of Taiwan, it was the China Trust Brothers in 6, full. Well, maybe 5.5 full. China Trust Brothers 17-0 final score over the Rakuten Monkeys, 18-0 for the Brothers, 0-1 for the Monkeys. And the Weishan Dragons defeated the Fubon Guardians 12-5. 12-18-0 for the Dragons, 5-8-2 for the Guardians. And that is it, fumbled mouth and all. Well, do we have time for the hellos, or do we have to go straight? We are over. It is great to see you all here tonight. And that's going to wrap it up for us. PM here on the east, 8:10 p.m. on the west. Will be better. At least I hope my mouth will be. But thank you. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, and this has been a Mystifying Creativity presentation in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. For everybody here at Sports Final, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, saying may your favorite teams always be winners. And good night, America, whomever and wherever. Good one, be safe.